Hey, how you doing? My name is Phil Foglio, and I'm here talking about Magic cards and all kinds of other exciting stuff, I guess. What are some of my favorite cards? Well, my favorite card has to be Presence of the Master. I'm sure there's a copy of it flashing up on screen now. For one thing, it's a different style. Most of my cards are done with acrylic paint. This one was actually pen and ink and colors with a type of watercolor known as a Dr. Martin's dye. They're more like just tints. They're very bright, very transparent, very radiant, and they look really good. It was back in those days, they just gave you the name of the card. They didn't tell you anything about it. I mean, you had to like pry it out of them. What does this card do? And most of the time, the art director didn't know. If you were lucky, he would tell you what color it was associated with. So Presence of the Master, I was like, okay, fine, I can do something like that. Well, I drew a picture of Einstein because, I had an idea for a kind of Art Nouveau Einstein picture that I've been kind of kicking around anyway. And it just, fit. And it actually precipitated kind of a crisis at Wizards of the Coast because they were like, this is a real person. I don't know if we can use this. And so there was a possibility I would have had to redo it. But they decided to go with it. So, that's the card we all know and love. The card that I get asked to sign the most is Humility. It's just a picture of a wizard and a dragon. They're down on their luck and they're reduced to street busking. And it's not my best picture, but I like the movement and I like the expressions on their faces, and apparently it just fits the card perfectly, and the card is super powerful and used all the time, so people love it by association. I've done a bunch of cards that I'm really pleased with. I mean, I like Mirror Universe, which is a nice card. The set I did with my wife Kaja, Mishra's Factory, that was fun. We were just doing that we did four of those the night after a Thanksgiving. We had to catch a plane the next day, so we were sitting at a card table just passing cards paintings back and forth. I would work on something, and then while it dried, she would be working on another part of another card, and we just swapped all four of them back and forth to each other, and were able to pop them in an envelope before we got on the plane. So that was good. The one in many ways that I was most proud of is Redwood Treefolk, because I'm working and I get a call from the art director, Jesper Mirfors, at in the morning. I'm sitting at my desk and he's like, I need a card. And I'm like, well, that's pretty much what I'm here for. And he's like, no, I need a card as soon as possible. The guy we had doing it bailed, and just, this thing goes to press at the end of this week. I need a card. And I was like, okay, man, I can do that. So what's it called? He said, Redwood Treefolk. And I was like, okay, I will get you that card as soon as I can. And I sat down and I had the idea just right there, did it up, painted it, was able to get it into Federal Express that day. So the next day, I call him and I'm like, Jesper. And he's like, oh, thank God, what's the status on the card? And I said, look on your desk. There should be a FedEx envelope. And he was like, oh, wow, is that the sketch? This is great, let me take a look at it. And I said, no, it's not the sketch. it's the card. And he was like, usually you show me a sketch. Yeah, usually you don't call me up in a panic because you need the thing as soon as possible. And then he looked at it and he was like, this is great. And I was like, thank you. You know how to spell a name on the check. I'm always very grateful for Magic. They, they get our name out in front of a lot of people. They, because of Magic, a lot of people have discovered our other work, like Girl Genius, webcomics we do, or some of the other, we write novels, we do work for other gaming companies. We're just generally wonderful people who love to come to conventions.